So some friends and I were at the Troubadour in West Hollywood about 2 or 3 years ago to see a secret Radiohead show. And after the show, I'm outside smoking a cigarette, waiting for everybody to clear out. And I see this guy walk out who looks kind of like Axl Rose, and he's just standing there looking down at his feet. And my friend Jared walks out behind him, comes up to me and asks me if that's Axl Rose. And I look at this guy and I'm like, no way, this guy's too short to be Axl Rose. And I think I said it a little bit too loud, because this guy looks up at me, looks down, and starts walking towards me. And I get a good look and I'm like, holy shit, that is Axl Rose. And on his way by, he bumps into my shoulder. And my cigarette goes right through his flannel shirt. I was kind of in shock, and my friend Jared looks at his shirt and he's like, dude, you just burned his shirt. And I look at my cigarette and my cherry's gone, and I'm like, oh shit, I did just burn his shirt. So he keeps on walking. He walks down the street, meets up with a couple of his friends, and they take off.
I work at the Hard Rock Cafe at Universal City Walk, and we were working one night. It's about 9:30, and Axl Rose came into the Hard Rock. Now, working in a place where lots of celebrities and famous people come in, we're not allowed to approach them or talk to them at all. But of course, it was Axl Rose, so everybody, got wind of it, and everybody kept walking by the table for no apparent reason, just to catch a glimpse of him. I mean, he looked a lot older. He was wearing, I want to say, just jeans and like a flannel shirt, really low key. His hair was a lot darker, more of a brown instead of the usual Axl red. The funniest thing about the whole experience was that he was sitting down and just had gotten his food and was just about ready to eat when, I swear, completely by accident, Paradise City came on, and everybody in the restaurant just immediately switches their heads and stares right at Axl Rose. And he looks at the people they're with, and they all start laughing, and he just kind of rolled his eyes and got really almost like a child embarrassed.
I've never seen Axl, but I saw Slash at a strip club once.
Well, you see, I was walking down here, down Crescent Heights, and I came up to this intersection, Sunset Crescent, and I mean, there's all this commotion going on, this car, people are honking, the lights are green and no one's going. I couldn't figure out what was up, and I looked around, I saw this great old Model T, and I'm figuring it must be the car. But no, I look up, I see a bandana, I see some glasses, I see the hair, and who is it? It's Axl Rose. But he's being nice, he's waving at people are looking up at him, old ladies, young, old men, didn't matter, everybody's waving and staring at Axl, and he's completely comfortable with it. And I'm standing there, he looked at me, and he gave me approval almost, that it was okay that I was standing there. Everybody else just waved and drove on. What are you going to do? It's Hollywood. That's what happens.
I just saw Guns N' Roses play out in Las Vegas for New Year's just this past month, and they played the Hard Rock Hotel. It was awesome. I mean, they opened with Welcome to the Jungle, and right in the middle of the stage was Axl. Remember, he was wearing a football jersey. It was I think a Raiders football jersey. And then later on, he changed his clothes and was wearing an old Confederate Army jacket, and he had no shirt on underneath, and he had the thing unbuttoned so he could show off his six-pack. And I mean, you could tell the guy had been working out. He still had that long red hair, and he still did that swaying thing that he does, swaying back and forth. And he just, man, it was just he had the same attitude that he's always had. He's never not had that badass attitude. It was funny because, I mean, even in the first song, his microphone started to feed back, and he flipped off the sound guy, and he just threw his microphone down and stormed off stage. And I mean, people in the audience were thinking, is he gonna even come back up and finish the show? And he finally did come back out once they got the microphone fixed. He seemed to be really in love with the audience, so that was cool. I mean, I was kind of surprised he didn't kick anyone out of the audience like he did at Rock in Rio last year.
Get that guy out of here. That guy right there. Are you listening to me, Mr. Security Man? That guy, gone.
Nobody saw him after the show. It wasn't like you'd see him walking through the casino, because a lot of people would see the other band members, cruising around with their girlfriends or whatever. But Axl, nobody saw him before the show. Nobody saw him after the show. It was almost just he flew in, did the show, and went and hid in his hotel room or something.
I was in Santa Monica on 3rd Street Promenade, and it was really late at night. I think it was just after midnight, sometime between 12 and 1, I think. And I saw this figure moving towards me. He really walked close to me, just a few feet. And he didn't look at me, but I looked at him and I thought, that's Axl Rose. He's really short. I noticed that he was wearing this orange jumpsuit, this nylon sort of, I don't know, space outfit it looked like. He's looking at the sky and the stars and stuff, and I noticed he was in his own world. And I thought that he seemed really, really lonely. And I felt kind of bad for him. And I wanted to tell him that it was going to be okay. But kind of decided against it and just let him kind of be, because I think he appreciates people letting him be.
I still love